Imagine you're standing in your room, totally normal, when suddenly, poof, you shrink by 1 centimeter. Then another, and another. 1 centimeter every second. At first, it's kind of funny. But give it a minute, and things get really weird. Let's say you start at an average height, around 170 centimeters, or about 5'7". Every second, you lose 1 centimeter in height. That means in less than 3 minutes, you'd be the size of a pea. And in just under 3 minutes more, you'd be microscopic, smaller than a red blood cell. So what actually happens to you during that incredible shrinking process? Let's find out. At first, things aren't too bad. You're 170, 160, 150 centimeters tall. Your clothes are getting baggy. The floor looks a little farther away than usual. Your cat suddenly seems huge and confused. But your body still works fine. Your lungs, heart, and brain are just smaller versions of themselves. The real problem starts around the 1-minute mark, when you've lost 60 centimeters in height. That's when surface area starts to matter. See, as you shrink, your body volume shrinks faster than your surface area. So your skin can't hold heat very well anymore. You start losing warmth to the air like an ice cube melting on a hot plate. Basically, you're freezing, and your tiny heart is racing just to stay alive. Now you're around 50 centimeters tall, toddler-sized. Your voice has gone squeaky, and your phone looks like a movie theater screen. The air feels thicker because, to you, the air molecules are bigger. Every breath is like sucking soup through a straw. At around 30 centimeters, gravity starts feeling different. You weigh almost nothing now, so jumping sends you flying like a grasshopper. But air resistance also hits harder, slowing your fall like you're in slow motion. Insects are no longer cute, they're terrifying. An ant is now knee-high. A cockroach, shoulder height. Congratulations, you now live in a horror movie. Okay, now things get tiny. You're just a few centimeters tall. Your world looks strange because light doesn't behave the same at your scale. Dust particles look like boulders, and the air feels almost solid. At this point, you're smaller than a pencil eraser. If you keep shrinking, soon you'll be smaller than a grain of sand. Then smaller than the thickness of a human hair. Around the 2.5-minute mark, you've reached the micrometer scale, roughly the size of a bacterium. You can't breathe anymore. Oxygen molecules are too big for your lungs to handle. But even if you could, you'd be in danger from something else, Brownian motion. That's when water and air molecules start randomly smashing into you like dodgeballs from every direction. To them, you're just another particle, and they'll knock you around like crazy. At 3 minutes, you're smaller than a red blood cell. Atoms are looking huge. You're officially at the nanoscale. If you kept shrinking past that, 1 centimeter per second, you'd be smaller than a proton in about 5 minutes. But here's the catch. Physics says you can't just keep shrinking forever. At some point, you'd reach the quantum level, where the rules of the universe stop making sense. You'd no longer be a you. Your atoms would tear apart. Electrons would fly off. Basically, you'd dissolve into pure energy, a tiny flash of light and heat. Congratulations, you just became a subatomic firework. So, what if you shrunk 1 centimeter every second? First, you'd freeze, then suffocate, then get pummeled by air molecules, and finally, vanish into the quantum soup of the universe. On the bright side, it would make a great TikTok if your phone could still see you. So, would you rather shrink smaller than an atom or grow taller than a skyscraper? Tell me in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this tiny deep dive into science, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Because next time, we're asking, what if gravity suddenly doubled?